What's going on, everybody? This is your host of the Most Philly Gym. And before we start, I just want to give a special shout out to our sponsor of this channel, La Terrain men's watches and accessories. If you use promo code Philly Gym, you can get 10% off of all the products they have. They have some really cool watches. They have all kinds of stuff that you can buy on there, sunglasses. You can get bags. You can get belts, whatever type of accessories and stuff that you're looking for. Really nice stuff. The link is in the description as well. So I hope you guys will go check that out as well. So what's going on, JC, and what's going on, BirdGang31? How you guys doing today?
Hey man, look, I'm
What's
great.
up,
Hey,
man?
any day we get to get talk birds and we're closer to the season. I think 18 days away. But how
Yeah.
could I be
Only a few
upset
weeks.
about
It'll
that?
go by fast, too. We
Yes,
got the last
sir.
And
preseason
I'm
game
happy,
this week against the Jets.
and I'm happy too
Yes,
because I told
sir.
everybody Quest could be a starter. No one wanted to believe me, and now he got promoted to starter. Everything I keep telling everybody, everything I said has been coming to fruition. So you
You've
guys
been
think I'm
on the Quez
crazy?
bandwagon. You
I've been
have.
on the Quest bandwagon from the start, and now he's a starter, just like I was on the Eagles bandwagon. I'm telling you, 12-5 is the record that's gonna happen this year.
I always thought Quez Watkins would be like a solid player, but I didn't see him taking like as big of a jump as we've seen him. I always saw him as like, behind Devontae Smith and Jalen Rager and Fulgham. I thought he would probably be like that fourth receiver, but man, he is like really he's really exceeded my expectations for him. So you know what? I'm impressed with it. I really am. So I hope it continues all during the regular season, because when you look at the Eagles receivers, yes, they're all really young, but these guys can do some work. They can do some damage on you because Rager is really fast and Quez is really fast, and Devontae is pretty fast himself. I don't think he's as fast as the other two, but he ain't slow. He can get behind the defense and turn on the burners too. So you know what? I really like all three of them, and I think they can all do damage.
Yeah, look, I love the fact that Quez is
Devontae
in.
Smith, man, his foot action is amazing. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
he's
That
an
guy
elite
right
route runner.
there.
Yep.
Even now, right now, I remember I was just watching some highlights from today's practice, and that dude's separation is ridiculous. You know, like
He can
he's
separate
making
on
these guys
anyone.
on anybody. You know, and I think it's gonna be trouble for the league, man. That guy's gonna, as long as he can stay healthy. You know,
Yeah, and one thing I want to bring up, man, the disrespect. I'm talking about before the draft. There was a lot of disrespect towards Devontae Smith about, oh, well, he's small, so in the NFL, he's gonna just get bullied off the line because there's gonna be a big, strong, physical corner, and they're just gonna push him around. You guys are forgetting that he goes up against Patrick Surtain every day during practice. Patrick
hmm
Surtain is a top 10 pick in the draft, as a corner. So you want to tell me that he's going up against a guy who's a top 10 pick and he's not going to be prepared for stuff like that? That's why I don't take people seriously. And the disrespect that Devontae Smith was getting because of his size, was just baffling to me. And I feel that Devontae he's gonna be one of the best of these rookie class when I'm talking about the playmakers. Like Kyle Pitts and Devontae Smith are really the top two guys I see really making a huge impact in their first year.
yeah. And then you don't forget Diggs. You know, J.C. Horn. Like he's been doing all the top, CBs in the league right now over the last couple of drafts. You know, all those top 10 CBs or first round CBs that's in the league. He's been burning those guys for a while now. You know, so it ain't nothing new for Devontae.
But see, I also think it's because of Deshaun Jackson. Like the whole Deshaun Jackson small and
Huge comparison.
his last couple years with the Philadelphia Eagles has been brutal. Like he played one game, like the first year he played one game and was out for the rest of the season. And the second year, he fooled us again. He played a couple games, but he really was hurt trying to play through those games. But he never had issues getting off the line because his speed. He was a burner. So I never heard, hey, Deshaun Jackson is too small. But because of Deshaun Jackson the past couple of years, they're afraid of because we got Devontae Smith. He's small. But the thing that separates Jackson and Smith is his route running abilities. And like you're not gonna put no hands on them. You're not, the defensive back at least got maybe 5 yards. Like the least they have is like 3 yards. You're not gonna be able to put your hands on them like that. So or it's gonna be holding, automatic first downs, all up and down the field. So I'm not worried about his size at all. But the injury that just happened to him with his MCL, now people really was like, oh my God, we knew it. Another Deshaun Jackson, he's small, this and that, but I'm not worried about it.
I'm not worried about it either. I think it was just a cramp. But you know what? It doesn't even matter like if you put your hands on him or whatever, because even when DBs are putting it, from what I've seen, even if they put their hands on him, he's just so crafty with his route running that he always finds a way to get open and get separation at the top of this route. Like I'm talking, like there were a lot of plays in that game, the 35-0 loss to the Patriots. Devontae was really one of the only bright spots in that game, but he was always there were a lot of plays. This guy's wide open.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because people aren't trying to cover him. It's just because he figures out a way to get open.
Yeah.
He's very smart when it comes to the route running and knowing what these DB's tendencies are and taking advantage of it. So I was really impressed by Devontae overall. He's definitely been everything that people expected so far.
Mm-hmm. Being able to stop on a dime and go to the opposite direction, like that's really what's going to eat people up this year. Like there's not, especially cornerbacks, when you're in your back pedal, he cuts to the middle of the field, you're kind of going full speed because Devontae's not slow. He's a fast receiver too. So when he cuts that middle of the field, you're going full speed that way. Then he just stops and then goes the opposite direction. Man, I don't really think there's a cornerback in the league that can stop and go with him like that. Like, we're gonna see this season, but man, I don't think there's enough top tier corners in the league that's gonna be able to stop him. Like he's gonna be wide open a lot, man. He's gonna be wide open a whole lot.
Good question. What do you guys think? Can Devontae Smith get over? Do you guys think he can get double-digit touchdowns this year?
I personally don't think he's gonna get past 9 touchdowns, so I would go under because
I have
getting double. Huh?
I don't know, man. I kind of want. I could see him getting like maybe 10.
I mean, hey, with the addition of Rager, Goddard, Hurts, Watkins, in order for him to get over 9 touchdowns, then that means he's going to be the sole target. And we're going to be throwing a lot of touchdowns. Because, if we're trying to be balanced, I mean, that's not the recipe. That's not the recipe for Jalen Hurts to be throwing all these touchdowns. I mean, we try to protect him as much as we can, especially with Nick Sirianni offense. I mean, yes, he never was the sole, yes, he never called an offense before, but with the Colts, if you go back and watch the Colts, he utilized his running backs a lot. And now you got 2 tight ends that you could go to. So I'll say he probably get 9 touchdown max because Rager gonna get some, Watkins is gonna get some, Sanders is gonna get some, Goddard's gonna get some, Hurts gonna get some. I mean, everybody's gonna get some. He's not the main guy, so he's not the sole guy.
I hear you on that. I just feel that Devontae is I just feel like he's that guy. So I feel like he's gonna get those opportunities to score as much as possible.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at with that. But let's talk about some other stuff. We've been talking about Devontae Smith. We've been talking
game this year. You know what I'm saying? That's
right. That's another good point.
Touchdown.
So obviously the Eagles, they had that 35-0 loss to the Patriots. So how concerned are you guys right now after seeing, all the depth players? They don't look very good. If we have injuries, this could be a huge problem. So how concerned are you guys about the depth of the Eagles and, potentially if these guys got to play? On a scale of 1 to 10, how concerned are you guys right now?
0.
0?
0 concern. Why? Because I think it's unlikely that all of our defensive line go down. I mean, it's okay to mix and match, a rookie with
Mm-hmm.
some starters. Like, hey, you could put Milton Williams in with, Graham and Sweat and Hargrave. I mean, the mix and match. But how likely is it that our whole defensive line is going to go down, and then we're going to have those exact same scrubs on the defensive line trying to stop anybody? I don't think so. It's highly unlikely. Last year we saw that on the offensive side, but on our defensive side, we've always been pretty durable on the defensive side. Maybe one guy go down, but not every defensive front go down. So yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about it. That game we had nobody starting on the defensive line, and in our secondary there wasn't really nobody starting there either. So I'm not worried about it. We was going against the Patriots' first team offense against the Eagles' second and third string that it maybe not even make the team. So zero concern.
All right, I hear you, man. But I'm gonna say I'm at like a 3 or a 4. I'm not like panicking by any means, but we just don't know. We just don't know if we're gonna be able to stay healthy. We've seen that we've had injuries every year. I hope it changes because, the way Doug Peterson did his practices compared to Chip Kelly, saw a major drop off in staying healthy. And then, had all these injuries. Maybe it goes back to the way it was with Nick Sirianni. So that's a possibility. But if guys start dropping like flies, it's going to be tough. It really is. So a lot of these guys just didn't look like they knew what they were doing at all. So it was kind of just a mess, but I'm hoping to see something better in the upcoming preseason game against the Jets, the final preseason game of the year, with the shortened preseason. But I'm probably concerned just a little bit, probably around a 3, I would say for now. BirdGang, you got any thoughts?
And my real reason why I'm not concerned at all, because a lot of these guys aren't even going to be on the team. The majority of that, I said I'm really concerned about it because a lot of these guys aren't going to be on the team. They're a third and fourth team players, and a lot of them about to get cut over the next week. So, the chances of us actually having to get that from that are really unlikely. Starters in our second team is really what you got to worry about. Those are the guys that are going to be in the game, majority of the game, handling their business. So, like JC said, we're really not going to see a lot of those guys that we seen play last week in the game in real life. So, I'm not really worried too much. Not that like 3 depths. You got to go like 3 strings to get it. I hope and pray that we don't have to do that this year like last year. So,
yeah, hopefully not. Okay, so you guys are a little less concerned than I am, but that's fair enough. So let's actually talk about some big news that came out, or I kind of consider it big news. I don't know if you guys will as much, but I'm sure you guys have probably heard about what some NFL executives has been saying about Mr. Howard Roseman, the GM of the Philadelphia Eagles, being non-trustworthy, to say the least. That's probably a nice way to put it. A lot of people think he's a slimy little snake that nobody can trust at all. So, I'm actually not really surprised that his peers feel this way about him. I mean, from what we've seen him do for the past couple years, it's been really shady stuff. Players from the past have called him out and said, this guy is the real problem. They got rid of Doug Peterson and they got rid of Carson Wentz. But, the real problem is Howie Roseman, because this guy, first of all, just going away from being a shady snake, forget being untrustworthy. He's not good at evaluating talent. He's really good with, wheeling and dealing and doing restructures and making more cap space. This is really the only thing he does well. But the players don't trust him. So that's kind of a problem. If you go into next season and you have all this cap space, and you have these top free agents that are coming to visit, and they don't trust, they know that this guy has a reputation for not being trustworthy, that's not good for the team. Having a reputation like that is not good at all for the team. And his peers don't trust him. People that work with him don't trust him. Players don't trust him. Coaches don't trust him. Nobody trusts him. Fans don't trust him. So you know what? It's not good at all. I'm not surprised that a lot of his peers view him the same way.
Go ahead, BirdGang. Hey, look,
Yeah,
all
man.
right.
Oh yeah, man. I'm not worried about Howie. Like that's kind of part of the job. We shouldn't have to worry about. No one should worry about if Howie's a snake or not. Of course, sometimes you're gonna have to make that deal that's better for the team. And there's gonna be people that not like it. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, he does some drafting, but he's pretty good at the money situation and agent stuff like that. So what they talk about, he was executive of the year once before. I think that's the full year. So let Howie do his thing. I'm not really even tripping off Howie too much.
Okay.
Look, the only thing I have to say about Howie, he's always been like this though. But it seems like this year, because he would not commit to Jalen Hurts being the guy, and all these rumors out there with Deshaun Watson rumors and stuff like that. So people was like, man, you have something there. Deshaun Watson is in legal trouble, and you still trying to pursue him. How could we trust you that you will do what's best for us or the team if you constantly trying to put your hand in something that you should not even put your hand in? Nobody else is putting their hand in it besides the Philadelphia Eagles. So I feel like, because of that, because like BirdGang said, his peers voted him as one of the best executive, GM, ever.
Won the Super Bowl, but that was a long time ago. That was 4 years ago.
Yeah, but also this, I think it was last season, because of the cap space that he creates. They also say he was one of the best ones, in cap space, getting a team out from under the cap and making them relevant again and getting free agents. How the hell you get Eric Wilson, Anthony Harris, Ryan Kerrigan, Steven Nelson, Adams on when you negative $60-something million in the hole? How do you get that? All those guys could sign multi-year deals with any team making $5 to $10 million per year. We got them for like 5, 4, 2, 5. How that happened? It's Howie Roseman. He's doing some kind of willing and dealing. He's trying to, whisper, that little sweet something in the air, getting them to buy into Philly. Because there's no other GM, I think, that would be able to do that besides Howie Roseman. So on both sides, he's sneaky, but he's sneaky good when it comes to free agents and also getting us back under the cap.
I think that's true, but I feel like Howie does more things bad than he does good. And I don't feel he can be trusted. I don't think he's good at evaluating talent. I think we've had a lot of bad drafts. I feel that Doug Peterson was unfairly used as a scapegoat. I feel like all three should have been gone instead of just Carson Wentz gone, Doug Peterson gone, and you keep Howie Roseman. Because Howie Roseman had just as much to do with why the team was losing this past season as much as the other two did. So if you want to fire Doug, then I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But they need to both go. But instead, Howie is a snake. He takes advantage of the fact that he has a relationship with Jeffrey Lurie, so he can talk him into saying, oh, well, I had a bunch of bad draft picks, but it ain't my fault, so you should keep me around and get rid of him. He's the real problem. That's why I don't like Howie Roseman, and his contract is due to be up at the end of this year, I believe. So they will either extend him or they won't. So we could have a new GM either way, but I have a feeling he's going to be back. And because of the 3 future first-round picks being a possibility if Wentz stays healthy with the Colts, you know what? He's going to use that as another tactic to keep his job even longer because he's gonna say, "Oh well, the 3 first-round picks. This is a part of the future. This is the big picture here." So, and if he comes in and he screws up the 3 picks that we're gonna be getting, it's gonna be bad, and the team's gonna be set back for years to come if that happens.
Yeah, question for you though. But do you think any
Well, I don't personally
GM
think
that
he'll
would have
mess up
came in
anything.
here, do you think any GM, if all right, let's just say we fired Harry Roseman last season. As soon as the season's over with, we fired him. Do you honestly think there's a GM that could have came into Philadelphia Eagles, get us out of cap hell, and sign those key free agency to keep us competitive this year?
That's not the new GM's responsibility. That's Howie's fault. Don't forget the reason
Well, that's
we're
what
in
I'm
cap
saying,
though.
though. Well,
Howie is the
exactly.
one. Howie's the one that overpaid
I hear
Alshon
you,
Jeffrey.
but if we fired him at the end of last season, so he's gone. But there's still we're still negative $60 million in cap bill. So do you think that
That's
new
Howie's
GM?
fault.
Okay, but I'm saying it's Howie's fault. I got it. But do you think the next GM, now name me a GM that would be able to come in here in Philadelphia, get us out of cap hell, and then still sign us some key free agents that we really, really needed and still keep us competitive for the NFC East and NFC division?
I just don't understand how would it be the new GM's responsibility to clean up the mess that the previous one left behind? It's just like the Chip Kelly situation. Doug came into a terrible team because he blew up the whole team. That wasn't his fault that he had to come into a team like that. So it took him a extra year to get everything right. So obviously, if we don't know what would have happened if we would have got rid of him last year, but that would not be the new GM's responsibility, in my opinion, because when stuff like this happens and you're in cap hell, that's just something that you got to deal with until it passes by. It's not just gonna everything is gonna go back to the way it was overnight. That's not the way it works. So to me, the new GM, that's not his fault that he's paying these players who are pretty much washed up, had 1 or 2 good seasons for their career, and gave him all this money. Think about how much money he gave Timmy Jernigan, who only had 1 good season, then he was injured. Alshon Jeffrey had a good season, and then he was washed, and then he started getting injured. So now he moves all this money, tries to restructure it, trying to make more cap space, but it really doesn't do anything. It creates more cap space right then, but you're pushing all the money to another year. So then when that year comes, you don't got as much cap space to work with. So either way, it doesn't really do much. So no, I don't feel like it would be another GM's responsibility to clean up a mess that was made by another GM.
BirdGang.
But I think what he's saying is it's not that it would be the other GM's responsibility. It would just be what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like if there was another GM, he would have to clean up the responsibility to make a team, that's gonna be able to compete this year. If he freaking did, then we wouldn't have a team, this year. And we still have extra money this year. Like Howie really did do a really good job on getting us back to where we need to be, if you really look at it. It's his own problem, but Howie does that on purpose. I think it's job security. Because if you need to fix years to come, you can always get a job because you can always be like, hey, let me fix it. Let me fix it. Hold on. I'm gonna get that. I got that. And Roseman, Laurie knows that he's good with the money. And that's one thing you can't say he's not good at. You can always say he's good at 2 or 3, the big 3 things. He sucks at drafting, so that's what he sucks at. But he is good at free agents, and he is good with the cap money. And once you do those things, I think, you can't really fire that guy. You got to let him doing his thing because he's going to set some things up on purpose. You got to realize he wants to keep this job too. He knows, if he's part of something that's in the future, I backloaded all this money, so I'm going to have to figure out this money later on, and then it'd be kind of stupid for you to fire him before that comes because you don't be able to see his full plan out. You know what I'm saying? Like all GMs do it. He's not the only one that's back paying people, pushing money back. That's just something you do in the NFL to make cap room. They've been doing it for years. So, I think definitely, I'll be here probably after this for sure, just for the simple fact that he gonna be like, hey, I'm the one that's getting you guys 3 first-round picks next year. So let me stay. And in terms of the players that get picked with those draft picks, whoever was in there this year, that's his mind on how to pick them, did a job, and I think that person will be the next year chief to help make sure he picks the right players.
Yeah, and look, hey, and the biggest thing, imagine, we all do it though. We all do it. We all try to make ourselves an expandable at work. You try to learn different positions. So you say, hey, look, I could do that position. I could do my position. So y'all need me. So that is exactly what Howie's doing. He's putting us in hell, and then he's the only one that could get us out of it. But this year, though, we're out of it. Next year, we have 40-something million plus $1 million in cap space, and possibly more, and possibly 3 first-round picks. So if you was going to fire Howie, this is the year after this season is over with. This is the year to do it, because now you're starting from scratch. You're fresh, and you're not negative and no cap space, and you got draft capital.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that part, but what are you guys? If things don't go well this year, are you willing to bring Howie back? Are you willing to trust him with 3 first-round picks?
No,
because I'm not.
He's gone. No, if things don't work out this year, he's gone. Right, and I think that he knows that too, and
Agreed.
I think that he's hoping on, that he's, and that's why he's trying to get Deshaun Watson so bad, because he feel like if he get Deshaun Watson, then we'll be better off. But which I do not think, because we have to give up, number one, Jalen Hurts. What else do we have to give it up? What players do we have to get rid of? So now, how good are we going to be? I mean, I don't know, but I think he screwed up this year. We keep the team that we have. He screwed up this year. He's gone the following year, and then I let the next GM decide on, is this guy a franchise quarterback just based on what he saw this past offseason, and then just build around that.
I got no problem with that. I see your point. I see where you're coming from. It will be a better situation. It will be a better situation for the GM to come in this coming year than compared to last year, or compared to this year. I mean, so yeah, I see where you're at with that. So I agree, but Howie, I just feel like he's had a lot of opportunities to really turn this team around, and a lot of stuff has been squandered, especially in the draft. So, I don't trust him with having 3 first-round picks. I can't bring myself to do it. I can't do it. That's just me, though. All right. So, what about this upcoming game?
Like, yes, he might have made some mistakes out there.
Oh, I think he actually did really good in this past draft.
He might have made some mistakes out there, but you got to look at it. He has brought the team.
Okay. Fair enough. What about this upcoming preseason game against the Jets? So it's last preseason game of the year. A bunch of guys didn't play. Do you guys want to see the starters come in here, get some reps, or do you guys just really not care at all about it?
I don't care. Hey, bring on September 12th, because we are 4-0 in joint practices. We're undefeated, because not one joint practice yet that you've heard the Eagles got dominated. The Eagles offense was bad. Eagles defense, none of that. So I feel like that Nick is saying, hey, starters, if y'all want to not play in this meaningful game, y'all give all y'all got right now. These joint practices is your preseason. And I'll see how y'all do. And then just based on that, I will determine if y'all play in the preseason or not. So that's my opinion. That's what I feel like, because these joint practices, we are dominating folks. And then we turn on the preseason, like, what is that? What is that? Is that the real Eagles? No, it's not the real Eagles. I don't look, sit them all out. Last year we was hurt. The past couple of years, we start off the season, everybody on the freaking injury list. Like everybody's on the damn injury list just to start off the season. So I'm happy that he's actually sitting everybody out. Hey, backups, go ahead and play. Show me what you could do. If you can't, oh well. I don't care about nobody's opinion outside the locker room. I just care about what your opinion is. So I feel like that these joint practices, we're undefeated, 4-0. If this is a good sign, then we might start off 4-0. Who knows? I'm not saying we will, but hey, it is what it is.
We need to get a championship banner for saying that says Joint Practice Champions
Undefeated
2021.
Yes.
I take it.
Like Nick said, we'd already played 7 preseason games. You know?
I mean, it's a more controlled environment.
And I get like the players team, the starters are going against the starters. You know what I'm saying? The third and second and third team players aren't really even getting that many reps in these joint practices. So if stars are the ones going against the ones, if you're already grinding out there 2 straight days, why make them do a third day? You know what I'm saying? Like, why not just let them have that day off and evaluate the back end of your talent or your room? So I kind of get it. I've been telling people I'm not worried about it, because the longest every single time you heard about these joint practices, you know, you hear about our starters lighting it up. They're the ones out there leading the way, you know, doing their job, you know, making big plays. All the talent, all the top end talent is doing what top end talent is just supposed to do. So as long as they're doing that in those practices, then, you know, everybody else just got to calm down. Let him work his magic. Let him work the plan the way he got to work it.
So let me ask you this. Do you guys just feel that they should just completely get rid of the preseason because joint practices are just a better way to evaluate your guys, and it's a more controlled environment? You know, there's less likely for injuries to happen. Injuries can still happen at practice, but, you know, game speed, a lot of stuff just happens. Guys are flying over the field. Guys are running full speed, trying to make a tackle on somebody, and they get right up under their ankles, and then next thing you know, the guy breaks his ankle or he twists it, or, you know, he's out for several weeks next thing you know. So it's a more controlled environment. So do you guys just feel that joint practices are more valuable and they might as well just go to doing that format instead of, you know, having 3 or 4 preseason games every year?
I do. I mean, I honestly think instead of doing 3-4 preseason games, you should do 3-4 joint practices, you know, closed door, because now you can actually use some of your plays, the teams that you're not going to play throughout the regular season, even though we're going to play the Jets this upcoming season, but we're not going to play the Patriots. And so I feel like that you can actually put a little bit of your offense, you know, that you're really going to run to test and see if it's really going to work. Also, guys will not get injured as much because it is joint practice. Everybody know, hey, if it was a real, you know, if it was real, maybe when Jalen Hurts went to throw the ball, he might have got hit and, you know, the ball might have fallen short instead of completed to Watkins. Who knows? So I feel like the preseason to me is pointless because nobody played their real offense or defense. It's all vanilla. It's all masquerade. It's all for show. Like, hey, let's just go out there and just do something. So I feel like if they get rid of the preseason, because I haven't heard a guy getting hurt, like a season-ending injury in joint practice, but I've heard it in preseason.
Yep.
So I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know.
I mean, Julian Edelman a few years ago tore his ACL in a preseason game. So
Preseason.
he was out for the year.
Yeah, Jordy Nelson, preseason. A lot of big guys, they toured like season-ending injury in preseason. So now that's why you don't see none of the quarterback like the Aaron Rodgers, maybe Tom Brady, maybe, but I ain't see him play nothing. But I'm saying, a lot of these guys are not been worried about no preseason.
A lot of teams don't play their starters.
Is this the first year that they had 2 joint practices? Because I've always heard about 1 joint practice.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think teams have been doing more joint practices just because of the fact that they did shorten the preseason by 1 game. It's usually 4 games, but this year it's only 3.
Yeah, but this was the first year, though, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, did we always have multiple joint practices?
I don't think so.
The first time.
I don't think so.
See, yeah,
I think we always did 1 a year.
Yeah,
I think this will work. I think this has worked better. I think there should be 3 joint practices or 4, maybe even 4. You know, that would work.
Yeah,
so I would love to see them get rid of the preseason because people put so much stock in the preseason. You know, preseason games don't count. They don't count on your record. So every time someone plays well in the preseason, you know, there's all this hype about it. Oh, well, you know, he's looking really good in the preseason. Like, for example, I want to bring up Justin Fields, rookie quarterback of the Chicago Bears. I don't know if you guys saw what happened, but, you know, the other week he had like a really good game. And he said that, you know, the game, it feels really slow to me.
Slow.
And then the next game, I don't know if you guys saw what happened. This guy got smacked down. Like, he really got hit hard. And then, so that's kind of like, look, welcome to the NFL, big boy. You know, so please let me know if the game is still slow for you. That's what really happened. So, you know, I feel like people are always putting all this stock in preseason, and it's not really that matter. It doesn't really matter because a lot of the time you're going up against guys that are like 4 stringers. They're not even going to be in the NFL in a couple more weeks. So, you know, I feel like it is overblown, and that's why I just feel like people put too much stock into it. Joint practices, I would love to see that become a thing, though. Like, just always doing joint practices over the preseason.
Yeah, and plus, like, when you're playing football your whole life, you're not really playing too many games that don't mean anything, you know? Like you said, like, I played all the way up to semi-pro, and yeah, we might have had a couple of scrimmages in the summertime, but that was it. You know, you're not doing all these preseason games on your way up the ladder, you know what I'm saying, to get to the pro, so why make them do it there? You know, they only do it for more money from the fans and all that kind of stuff, but...
I mean, they don't do it in college.
Yeah, you don't do it in college.
It doesn't really affect them.
Semi-pro, you don't do it in high school, so it's just like joint practice is a lot safer. You know, you can work your magic. You don't have to worry about that film out there in the air, so people can do more of what they want to do and have a better product come the regular season. If you, like you said, if we did 4 joint practices, you know, 4 weeks of joint practices, then you go to your normal practice before the start of the season, then I think there'd be a lot more crisper teams out there. You know, because if you're trying to hide all this stuff in the preseason game, why even play it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point.
Yeah, it's like meaningless time. You know, you're trying to hide your offense, or you're throwing vanilla. Vanilla is what gets people hurt. You know what I'm saying? When you're being basic, you know, lining up people in positions that they're not going to succeed in, that's when people get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, 100%. 100%. So we're gonna start seeing more roster cuts. They're trimming down the roster little by little. So, you know, what positions are you looking at? Certain guys winning competitions. You know, obviously, it's not been looking good for Mr. Andre Dillard. From what I was reading today, they said that this man was getting thrown on the ground by a guy who was an undrafted defensive lineman.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think, man? Do you guys think that is this guy even worth keeping on the roster? Like, as bad as he's been during training camp, do you even think it's worth keeping him on the roster? You think we might as well just just get rid of him, just cut him. Like, I mean, who would even? I'm not sure who would even want him at this point because it just doesn't look good at all.
Yeah, he got to get traded ASAP before he does anything more, any more embarrassing.
To hurt his stock. Yeah.
Yeah, because he is hurting his stock bad. You know, I just read that too. That guy was like an undrafted player that's not even like guaranteed to make their roster. And he's like slapping him around, putting him on his back 2 days in a row, man. 2 days in a row. So yeah, trade Andre ASAP. We got enough depth at the line position to not worry about it. You know, if by a lot of guys hurt, we got Jack Driscoll, we got Herbert, we got a couple other guys back there talk. Just let him go.
He remind me of, is it Eric Flowers, the Giants?
Yeah, exactly.
He remind me of that guy.
That dude was soft too.
He was soft like toilet paper, Charmin. So why not? Like, I think, okay, before we get rid of him, could we please just train him at another position? Just really focus. Just really focus.
Anything else, man?
But we don't know. We didn't never literally say, "Hey,
he played right tackle." You remember when he played right tackle? He was over here talking about, well, it was like trying to write with your. If you write right-handed, you try to write left-handed, so on and so forth. And he was getting destroyed when he was playing right tackle.
Train him at left tackle. So what now? Like, at least
is a left tackle. You mean like left guard or something?
Yeah, left guard. Just trim and left guard and see what he has. And then you know what? Hey, get rid of him. Because Eric Flowers did do a little bit better once he switched position and went to another team. So they did work with him, and he did do a little bit better. Look, I just don't want to say, hey, go away, goodbye. And then we seen every player that left the Philadelphia Eagles went to other teams and succeed. So we might be the problem. We might be a tough city to play for. So
love our Eagles because you do the same thing with JJ. You like keep JJ. And you are the lover of the Eagles. I love it though. I'm an underdog,
man. I'm an underdog, man. I believe when everybody give up on you, you either move him to another position. Yes, he clearly lost this left tackle position. Clearly, you know what I mean? Hey, maybe that position at the NFL level is way too much for him. So just move him to left guard and see what he has. I never heard anybody say, "Hey, we moved him to left guard," and he still was getting run over. All they kept on saying was left tackle. Of course, okay, all right, that's enough. We drafted him at left tackle. We got it. He sucked. Try some other position. You invested a first-round pick with this guy. At least give him an opportunity. Like, hey, Jason. We gave Jason Peters a chance, and he was the worst left tackle in the league last year, and he got 3.5 sacks by himself in the Washington football game, the first game. So switch his position. If you don't succeed, then get rid of him.
So you're just saying you think that there's still hope for him. He just needed to switch a position.
I just think that this position is too much for him because you have to be quick. You have to be so quick and strong. And Jason Peters is a big guy and strong. And look at Mariota. All the left tackles, from the Trent Williams, they're all big guys, and they're strong physical guys. Dillard is not that type of guy. He's not that guy. So just put him into, just hide him in between, Kelsey and Mariota right there at left guard. You know what I mean? Because he's going to be protected, I think, and he might be able to, just to gain some confidence back. That's all I'm saying. We wasted. I don't like to waste stuff. I'm a holder, by the way. I will pack closets and stuff and say, one day I might need you. So I don't want to get rid of you too soon. So I'm just saying, we might not want to get rid of him too soon, especially the way the Eagles.
I mean, he was a first-round pick.
That's what I'm saying.
All I'm going to say is this about the first-round pick thing. He was a first-round pick, but I'm just thankful that Mulata was a 7th-round pick, and he has turned out as good as he has. Because if he didn't, then we would not be in a good situation right now.
Yeah, rugby, football. No helmet. No shoulder pads, shoulder pads. Like, you are literally the toughest. It's a different game. It's like hockey, and man, I don't know. Hockey's a tough sport, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I never played hockey, but you fighting, you skating, your legs tired, and you getting bloody nose. I mean, there's different type of sport for different individual. And now, and when you come to a softer game, to me, Mariota sees football as a softer sport. Because rugby, he was getting hit,
that's a good
tackled,
point.
like he was getting like beat up without no gear at all.
I think that's a really good point. Yeah,
I think we need to get the most value we can get from him right now, because what happened if you change him to a guard and he's super sorry there? Now his value even goes down more, and we're gonna get even less.
What's his value now, BirdGang? What his value now?
I think I think there was a left tackle or two that got injured. I think we could probably get a third or fourth.
What? We can't get a third or fourth for Zach Ertz.
But that's the difference. You're talking about old. Like, NFL's about age. If you still are a really young player, like still like 23 years old, he's still a young buck.
I don't know, man.
You know how many coaches, like you said, coaches look at that as like, maybe he wasn't coached right. I can fix this guy, and make him a better player because he's still young. So it's more of a possibility. I
don't know about that.
Like,
Jeff Stoutland's probably the best offensive line coach in the NFL. So if he can't coach him, I don't think anybody can.
But, there's always those prideful coaches that think they can work miracles, Remember what we didn't think we could do nothing? What was that dude that went to Pittsburgh? His name was I'll start with an A, Alejandro or something, whatever. Like, we drafted him late, and then he sucked.
This Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But he's
went to Pittsburgh.
It was a Pro Bowler.
And went to Pro Bowl.
Yeah. So it's like, it's still possible. Like, Stalin might be the best coach, but at the same time, at the end of the day, it's still like the offense you run, the scheme that you're running that makes you a player at the end of the day. Like, you can teach whatever you want. He was a good teacher, but, there's other good offensive line coaches out there in the league, and there's definitely other schemes that play, to people's strengths.
I hear you. So, okay, you guys think there's still hope for him? I really don't, but
no, I want to trade him right now. I want to trade him right now.
I got hope for him. BirdGang
I got no hope. I got no hope for this man. No hope.
Zero.
It's gone. It's
underdogs. Underdog we rise.
Speaking of underdogs, let's talk about JC's favorite underdog, Mr. JJ Ortega-Whiteside.
Yes, sir.
So it's gonna kind of be like the same conversation. People have been saying that he's been balling during training camp, just like they said last year he was balling during training camp. So what would your reaction be if Travis Fulgham, who hasn't really been doing anything in training camp, he gets cut off the team and JJ takes his spot? How are y'all gonna feel about that?
Well, Fulgham showed up today and yesterday. Huh? What happened?
I said I would slap Nick Sirianni if he did that. You have not seen what you hear behind the scenes.
I love Fulgham.
You have not seen not one good highlight, not one good practice highlight, preseason highlight, any kind of highlight to justify that JJ have done anything at all.
I have.
You see Fulgham?
I don't know, man.
I've seen JJ. Hey, he was a star of the camp the first couple weeks. Him and Zach Ertz was the star of training camp the first couple weeks. He was no. Everybody was the same people that's reporting, that's taking video clips of the Eagles practice were the same people that was reporting it. JJ Ortega-Whiteside was balling. He's catching jump balls in the end zone. I'm telling you right now. Fulgham, I don't know if he got the Jalen Reagor mindset coming in, but his mind is not there this year. Last Yesterday was the first time I heard that Fulgham balled out yesterday. So maybe we keep Fulgham and cut Hightower. Maybe Hightower is the one that's out.
Hightower been injured too.
Yeah, exactly. So we keep Fulgham and my guy JJ. I got a jersey on the line. So my guy JJ, you know what I mean? We keep him and we go to the Pro Bowl with him.
Okay, you know what? I like the confidence. I like the confidence. I hope it happens, because if it does, then I'm gonna have to take a lot of stuff back that I said. But
yeah, hey.
You know what? I don't know, man. That's why we need the regular season. Go ahead.
I said JJ Pro Bowl. I'm saying 17 now.
Look, there's one thing I've been hearing about JJ is the red zone catches he's been making. Not between, the 50, the 20 and the 20. No, he's making catches in 20 in the red zone. That's where it matters, folks. There's a package out there for him, with him in the red zone. He's a big body wide receiver, and he catches those 50-50 balls. That's JJ for you. I'm sorry. Y'all gonna hate life when JJ make this team. Matter of fact, the 31st is the deadline for a 52 man roster. JJ's on it.
So that's only like 8 days away from now.
No,
that's less than
like
6 days.
That's like 6 days away.
So that's less than 1 week. So
yeah.
this time next week,
after the third preseason game, they're gonna start cutting that weekend.
It's about to go down then, bro. I can't even wait. I can't even wait. That's why we need a regular season to be here, so we can really see if this is just all for show during training camp, or if he really is, like, for real, the real deal.
He's a real deal.
Because wouldn't it be something if he turned himself around, and then after all the DK Metcalf talk, I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying.
Sir.
Just saying, man. We had 2 years where everybody was talking about Jalen Reagor, first round pick. We should have took Jefferson. And then the next year, or the year before, was when the JJ and the Metcalf went down. So if they turn it around, man, that would be something else, man. So I hope it happens for real.
Sir.
I don't know, man. I don't really have anything else unless there's anything you guys want to talk about before we close it out.
No, I mean, look, he's going to be good this year. Yeah, he got live in a few minutes. Hey, Eagles is going to be good this year. Hey, all y'all fans out there, Eagles fans out there, and just have patience. Just have patience. You know that we fight to the end until we are eliminated. Period. Regardless if we're 2-8 or 2-9, until we see elimination, we're still in it.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I hear that all the way. This team is being overlooked.
We got a lot of talent. You know what I'm saying? A lot of untapped talent, and we got a lot of uncertain, new schemes, new stuff that no one's seen. So our hardest games are our first 6 games, and with all this newness, I think that's going to get us to win a lot of these first 6 games, because people aren't going to be able to catch on to it early, and that's going to be our advantage, and then we're going to have a great season. Like I said, 12-5, we're going to win the division, and hopefully might even be able to get a first round bye. Hey, I said it. Let's go.
That would be crazy, bro. That really would. I would be happy with just winning NFC East with 9 or 10 games. But you know what? I'll be down with 12, man. I'm not gonna be complaining if that's what happens for real. But the team is being disrespected. It's being overlooked. I think that they're gonna surprise people. Got a favorable schedule. Got a bunch of guys were injured last year on the O-line. They're coming back. Jalen Hurts is going to be in a good situation. He got that chemistry with Devontae Smith. Got a good receiving core that's young and hungry and ready to prove it. So I'm excited for it too, guys, man. I really am. So if you guys would like to shout out what any stuff that you are working on for this week, feel free to do so. Also, y'all can go ahead and check out both of their links are in the description below. And you can subscribe and help both of them as they are getting on their journey to get 1,000 subs on YouTube. So go ahead and check that out.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Bird
guys,
Gang.
go ahead and subscribe. Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk. We are growing. We got
Yes,
a lot
sir.
of good collabs coming up. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I just try to bleed green and give you the best content I can from the Eagle community. We all do our great job and we all have our own things. My page is more about collabing, giving you a chance to get the updates on the team, plus see the content creators that help bring you this update and that you enjoy so much. So, check me out, give me a sub, and yeah, Fly Eagles Fly. Come check me out. I got a live going on right now.
Hey,
Hey,
man.
man, we'll see you right over there, man. We will.
All right, guys.
All right,
Later.
JC.
Yeah. Hey, look. Hey, you can find me at JC Eagles Talk on Twitter, on Instagram. Of course, YouTube under the same name. This upcoming season, I just plan on doing play-by-play for the Philadelphia Eagles fans that cannot watch the game. I plan on watching every game or be at a few games. I already got tickets to the Bucks and the Saints, so I'm trying to get a few more
tickets to the 49ers.
Hey, yeah, hey,
Home
that's
opener.
what's up, man. Yeah, yes, sir. I just couldn't make it, so I mean, just hit
It's
me
expensive.
up.
It really is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I got
Even if
nosebleed
we're
for the
coming off a
Bucks.
4-win season, the damn tickets are still out of this world price.
Yeah, because the fans wasn't in the stands last year, so now everything's still up. But yeah, I mean, just hit me up on Twitter, IG, or YouTube. Hey, I'm on my way to 700. I mean, that's my goal. I gotta take it one goal at a time. And my next step is 700. All right. So and I'll see y'all there.
Keep going, man. Keep going.
That's it.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all next time. Thanks for watching. Fly Eagles Fly, go Birds, and we'll see y'all on another stream.
Go Birds.